Terquavion Smith here.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, Terquavion. If y'all want to just use the hand raise function, we can go ahead and get started. Corey, go ahead.
Terquavion, obviously this is not the result you guys wanted, but it seemed like there was a lot of good things in terms of the bench scoring, in terms of you guys being able to have multiple guys getting into double digits. What went wrong down the stretch, though, in terms of not being able to finish out this game?
I feel like we have to defend more. We got to be able to stop giving teams their strengths and force them to do new things that they don't normally do.
Yeah, kind of speaking to that, looking at what Miami was able to do on the stretch, 12 of the last 15 possessions resulted in points. How much of this was on the defensive end and not being able to get those stops?
I just feel like we got to play harder. Like when the game get more close, we got to play harder. Everything counts. Every possession counts in college basketball.
Appreciate it, Terquavion.
James, go ahead.
Terquavion, just want to ask you, how difficult are they to defend with multiple drivers? Is that what you mean when you say try and take away their strength?
Not necessarily. I mean, if he's a right-hand driver, don't give him his right hand. That's what I kind of mean to take away his strengths. If you want to get to a pull-up, force him to shoot threes or get all the way to the basket.
And just to follow up, they were struggling shooting the ball coming in from three. I think they shot over 50% against you guys. Was that something you wanted to try and force them to do, was to make some shots, and they just kind of did tonight?
Not necessarily. I mean, they hit a lot of people hit shots that they weren't supposed you don't usually hit. So, I mean, I feel like they played a good game.
JB, go ahead.
Hey, Terquavion, thanks for taking out the time. What's Coach Keatts' message to you guys right now while you go through this slump? And, what are the key points that you guys are taking from his message to try to, end this losing streak you have right now?
The message is really keep playing hard. I mean, we play hard, but we got to put together segments, 4-minute segments, and we got to put together 2 20-minute halves where we play 110% every time.
Any other questions? No. All right. Thank you, Terquavion.
No problem.
Hey guys, I'm going to try to get Jericho in here. He got taken away for treatment real quick, so if he comes back from the training room, I'll get him in here, but Coach Keatts should join us shortly.
Hi, Coach Keatts. Thanks for joining us. If you can start with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions after that.
Well, I thought, give Miami credit. I thought both Wong and McGusty, two veteran guards, made plays down the stretch. And I thought that was a difference in the game. When you look at Miller, I think Miller had a great game, obviously, going 9 for 16 and 4 for 6. That being said, there was a lot of good things that we can take from this game. One of the most positive things is that we were able to get some scoring from our bench. I thought Thomas Allen came in and did a great job, and so did Ernest, and so did Breon Pass, and did Casey Morcell. I thought we did some really good stuff in the game. Unfortunately, it was a game of runs. We had our runs, and then they had their runs, and I think at the end, a little bit, some veteran guards took over, and we showed a little bit youth. But I'm encouraged by some of the things that I saw from our guys. When you look at it, this was our highest assist game of the year, 18 assists on 30 made field goals. So I thought we got better in that area. We were able to get out in transition and be able to, get 24 points in transition. So we did a lot of things, good things, but obviously we got to continue to get better. And as we grow as a team, I think you'll see different results at the end. Questions?
Corey, go ahead.
Kevin, I asked Terquavion about this. Obviously, not being able to get shots at the end is difficult, but when Miami's able to score on 12 of the final 15 possessions, how much did the defense play into not being able to get this win down the stretch?
Well, I thought, Corey, they made some tough shots, but at the end, we needed some stops that we couldn't get. I thought they did a good job. We did a good job, especially on Wong in the first half. In the second half, we let him get into the paint. We let him get down the hill to his right hand. And I think him and both McGusty made great plays at the end when we needed to get some stops. And obviously, that probably was a difference in the game.
And you touched on this a little bit, but the bench, 27 points out the bench in this game. Obviously not as much production down the stretch, but 27 points. I mean, in the last 3 games, you've had a combined 19 points out the bench. How big was that tonight? And how good of a sign is that, at least moving forward?
Well, I think both Thomas and Breon came back from break, and you could tell that they weren't happy by the way they played. And they played all year long. And it looks like both of those guys got really in the gym every day during the break, and they both came back ready to play, and it paid off. And, when guys are working hard, I've got to find them more minutes because both of those guys have done a tremendous job. And, some of our guys who, have started the game aren't playing great right now. And so that being said, you got to give some other guys some opportunities.
Thanks, Kevin.
James, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin, you played small for a lot of the second half. Was that more offense or defense, or just something you wanted to try and do in this game?
Well, it was one of those games, James, where I thought we could play a little bit smaller. And obviously, when they went small, they spread us out, and they had every guy who could drive the ball, who could shoot the basketball. And I didn't think that we could get anything from EB or Jalen on the perimeter. So we went a lot with Ernest Ross at the 5, and then sometimes you saw Cole at the 5, but it was more of a matchup than anything. And we were going to play the similar way Wardenberg would play, because obviously when they didn't play Gak or Rodney Miller a lot, we thought we could play small, and the same thing with them on their end.
And just to follow up, you mentioned Waterberg. I assume you found out right around the same time everybody else did that he wasn't playing. How much did that impact your overall game plan going into this game?
Well, it didn't change as much because, James, we were going to go into the game. Obviously, he's been a great pick and pop guy. The only difference is that, Miller was able to take his place, and Miller was able to make shots. And, they played similar to the same way they would have played if Wardenberg was there. I did find out right before the game that he wasn't playing, and hopefully he's okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
JB, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you taking out the time. Got a two-part question for you. What is your message to the team right now while you guys are dealing with this slump, this losing streak right now? And, the second part of that is how much are you factoring in, this slump coming so early in the season? We haven't even gotten to January yet. Maybe optimism that there's plenty of time to turn this around.
We have a lot of basketball to be played, and our guys are fighting every possession. I can tell, if you're watching us play, you might not love everything we do, but one thing you can't say is that we don't fight and we don't compete. And what we're talking about in the locker room is, hey, find a way, continue to get better. There'll be better days. This is not the first time since I've been here that we've started the season 0-2 in the league. We've always found a way. This time we have to find a way in a different way. This is the youngest team that I probably coached, and we just got to continue to grow, continue to get better. I thought we did some really good stuff. We got to continue to get better on the defensive end, obviously to be in every game and have the opportunity to win this game. But there's no holding our heads down. We don't feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to grow. And, obviously we're going to figure out how to get some positive results.
Thank you, Coach.
Any other questions for Coach Keatts? Nope. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.